And member of the House Ways and Means Committee, Oklahoma Congressman Kevin Hern. Congressman, great to see you. So the Veruca Salt Caucus, that Caterwall crew got their $40,000 for the state and local tax deduction out of the Senate, placating some of them. But who is likely to be a no among Republicans over in the House, given the fact that it looks like that the Senate version spends more?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. The only person that we've had is a definite no has been Thomas Massey, and that's a long-running riff. But we've got a lot of work to do. But I think it's important to remember, and Jason, you'll remember this back in 2017, the previous big reconciliation bill, the Tax Cut and Jobs Act. The bill was only about 30% of the House origination when it came back to the House from the Senate. This one is 80 to 90%. So as it was just mentioned in the report, this is going to be a little easier if there is a measure to come back to the House and get passed. But I think it's important to remember, 3 million more Republicans voted for President Trump than they did for all the candidates in this last election because they knew he was on the right path to get America back on the right path. And this bill does that. It keeps the tax policies the same. It strengthens our military, secures our border, cuts down on human trafficking, makes us strong again, makes us great again, and that's what we're going to work on. That's what we're going to do. We're going to get it to the president's desk this week.
Congressman, what do you say to the people who say, well, it doesn't cut enough spending? What do you say to those people?
It cuts more spending we've ever cut in the history of this country. Right now, it sits in the Senate with about $1.3 trillion. We are at around 1.4, 1.5 trillion when we sent it over. But still, this is the greatest spending cuts in American history. And you only get this opportunity every 6 to 10 years. And we need to remember what the Democrats did. They said, we're not going to get 100% of our Inflation Reduction Act, so let's get all we can get now, and we'll get some later. We need to kind of remember that, what the Democrats did and what they shoved down this incredible spending bill. What we're trying to do is prevent $4 trillion in tax increases on every single American. You just had Chuck Schumer on there talking about, well, the president didn't tell the truth. You don't hear a single Democrat talking about their no vote on this bill raises every single American's taxes next year. 22% will come back to the federal government so they can create more ridiculous spending programs like they've done in the past.
You mentioned, Congressman, about all of the American people who voted for President Trump. And they didn't vote for Joe Biden. He dropped out. And they didn't vote for Kamala Harris. And a lot of these Republicans didn't vote for the Inflation Reduction Act. So why on God's green earth are they trying to extend wind and solar subsidies? Joni Ernst in the Senate has introduced an amendment extending wind and solar subsidies. They, over in the Senate, have dialed back some of the cuts that were made in the House. I don't understand, even ideologically, fiscally, financially, why they would be trying to hold on to something other than their own green grift that they didn't vote for in the first place.
Yeah, I'm not part of those Senate negotiations, as you know, but here in Oklahoma, we're really fond of our fossil fuels, and we know that wind and solar doesn't stand on its own. It never will stand on its own. So it's going to always take taxpayer dollars to fund that for it to be a viable option. As we know, President Trump's pushed nuclear. If we're going to have sustainable energy to do the things we need to do, we need to get nuclear back on the grid, and we need to get it back on there, not just one at a time, but many at a time, like what China's doing. So I'm not sure what's going on the Senate side. We'll see what the total bill looks like when it comes back. Hopefully we'll see it tomorrow. And we're prepared. We're all coming back tomorrow to be ready to vote on Wednesday.
Congressman Kevin Hern, thanks,
you, sir. Congressman. Appreciate it.